So of all the things this man could have done, he brings back segregation. Segregation on bathrooms, segregation on restaurants, segregation on who to hire. That's why he removed DEI. Now I'm wondering, why would he do that? When black consumers have a significant impact on America's economy. And of course some of y'all think I'm lying. Fact check it. Go do a Google search. With American black households spending almost $1.4 trillion annually on goods and services, they want to bring back segregation?
You ever notice how some news hit the internet and only one group is panicking? And in this case, it's not black people, because apparently Trump and his folks are floating around this wide idea of bringing back segregation, like America wasn't already halfway living in it. But what's funny is that the group screaming the loudest aren't the people you think. It's not black folks crying. No, please don't. No. It's MAGA supporters and certain white folks who suddenly realized they might not like the very thing they thought they wanted. So first of all, when the topic of segregation popped back into the conversation, a lot of black people were like, segregation never left. We've been living in one, in our own schools, our own, neighborhoods, our own culture, our own struggles. What's new? And honestly, that's right. America never fully integrated. It just switched fronts, same system, different wrapping. Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I'm going to let the rest of the videos roll. Let's see what people's reactions are, then we'll come back with more commentary. Do well to let me know what you all think in the comment section. Credit belongs to the original creators of this video. Let's go watch, then I'll come back with more. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
So I had some white colleagues ask me what I thought about Trump actually segregating whites and blacks. And I actually told them straight up, like, honestly, I would love that. Now, they looked at me like I was crazy and they almost spit up their almond milk. And I think they thought that maybe I was saying that out of hatred, but it really isn't about hatred. Here's the thing. I'm not talking about their version of segregation. See, I'm talking about our version of righteous separation, spiritual sovereignty, and black sufficiency. See, the truth of it is that integration was never about freedom. It was finesse. It was a system's way of saying, let's stop them from succeeding independently so we can profit from their brilliance directly. It was about control. And so I want us to be very clear about this. We were never separate but equal. So that's a lie. We were separate and excelling. We had our own schools. We had our own banks. We had our own businesses. And baby, we were thriving. Black Wall Street, they burned it. Rosewood, they bombed it. Wilmington, they overthrew it. Why? Because we were doing too well without them and they couldn't handle that. And so that's the truth. They didn't really want segregation gone. They wanted control. This is why we know that integration was just repackage of chains. When we were separate, we actually were building and excelling. And when they saw that we could excel without them, then it was like, oh no, we got to take control and make sure that their labor is profiting us. So right around that time, they rolled out this whole standardized testing, ACT and SAT. Y'all remember that? They created this IQ ranking to measure their norms, not our brilliance. And then we were said we were behind when we really weren't. We were just building our own lane, not asking for theirs. See, I don't know about you all, but I'm kind of tired of the lies. It's very exhausting. Just the lies that continue to be promoted. And I want to talk about the melanin, because this whole thing that we're not smart enough, that we're not bright enough, is simply just a lie. And so, all this testing that they're doing, and I have kids in school and they're made to feel that they cannot achieve. And I have to remind them about their actual superpower, melanin. See, not just your skin tone, but in your brain, specifically neuromelanin, that rich dark pigment found in areas like the substantia nigra, which are critical for learning and memory and decision making and emotional regulation. See, if you don't know, then you won't know how to respond. But when you learn about the studies that have actually linked the neuromelanin to higher concentrations and how it's related to enhanced memory and processing and higher intelligence and faster reaction times, then you know why they have hidden this information for so long. Because when you have higher melanin, you have stronger brain resilience against degenerative diseases. So translation to that is melanin doesn't just make you glow, it makes you grow. So we know that it's not coincidental that people with more melanin have historically been creators, inventors, innovators across every discipline, while also being the most suppressed, because they know that the more melanin you have in your body and in your brain actually produces higher intelligence. So The Bible also says this too in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 7. It says he placed treasures in earthen vessels. What treasures? It was in us all along, right? So we have more melanin, and we know that people with less melanin, because it's a recessive gene and it's a mutation, lack the same level of intelligence, of many different benefits that come along with that. What's so interesting about it is that we're supposed to be looking at this as if it's something negative. But why is it negative when every other cultural group does this? Group economics. See, the truth of the matter is they have stolen from us so many different things, and yet we still survive. And so I don't want to offend, but I have to be blunt here. When we invented it, they patented it. When we built it, they banked on it. So everything we created, they made sure they benefited off of it. Just like Louis Latimer, he actually developed the light bulb, but Edison got all the glory for it. And this has been going on through history. We know that Granville T. Woods laid the foundation for trains. Corporations got the contracts. Dr. Patricia Bath revolutionized eye surgery. The system licensed the tech. Black music became white record labels, billion-dollar industries off of our talent. Every time we create, they capitalize. We are the genius, but they control the royalties. It's quite interesting, isn't it? So when we talk about the facts and segregation, I want to be very clear. It's not racist. We have to understand the dynamics of this. See, the black dollar actually is the fastest running dollar in America. So let's do the math here. And I think it's quite funny. Black people have spending power over 1.6 trillion. But guess what? That dollar stays in our community just for 6 hours, while the white community, their dollar stays in their community 17 days. And guess what? Asian communities, it stays in their community 20 days. Jewish communities over 3 weeks. Why? Because we're systemically disarmed from owning what we build. And this is no coinky dink. The scripture said this would happen. So now our dollar does the labor, but the system collects the check. And this is why I support segregation on our own terms. See, that 400 years of slavery is over. And when I say that I want us to be segregated, I don't mean oppressed. I mean organized. Let's build black banks again. Let's educate our babies on the truth, not whitewashed lies. And let's support black farmers, black techs, black healing, black brilliance. And no, it doesn't mean I hate white people. No, it means I finally love us enough to stop begging for scraps from a table we built but never welcomed to. See, the Bible told us about this. Yet we hop, skip, and jump over the fact that Deuteronomy 28, 43, and 44 already said it. It says, the stranger shall rise above you high, and you shall come down low. They shall lend to you, but you shall not lend to them. And this is exactly what has been happening for 400 years plus years. We built houses, businesses, schools, and they took them and taxed them to death. But beloved, there's hope, because Deuteronomy 30 and 3 also says, and Yah will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you, and will return and gather you from all nations. So yes, I welcome segregation, because restoration is already in motion. And I want y'all to understand this. We are not asking for more, we're building. See, we were never given anything from you all. I'm not asking to sit at somebody's table anymore. See, I'm trying to go along with scripture and build my people, gather my people, not because they are more melanated, but because we need to know that we serve the Most High and that He's going to take care of us, because separation was never our curse. It was our covenant. And now it's our strategy. It says to come out from among them, be ye separated. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. So this isn't about racism. It's about us reclaiming what is already ours.
Black people's biggest downfall, in my opinion, is always going to be trying to be accepted by white people. And I don't give no fuck what motherfuckers get up on this app and say. Desegregation is what fucked us up to begin with. We were so much better off spending our money with each other, whether we had a lot of it, whether we were poor or not. We owned all our shit in our communities, and we weren't as intertwined with a bunch of motherfucking snakes. Now, I don't want to get up on here and just say, oh, I'm for segregation, because I have white friends who I like to be around and who I love dearly. But bitch, shit, I damn sure ain't mad at it. Oh, we could be separate but equal. Now, I'm not saying I want a motherfucker to tell me what bathroom I can and can't go in, or telling me to go in the back of a motherfucking bus. Speaking of, white bitch told me earlier this week to go to the back of a bus. The bitch thinks she's safe because she in Hawaii, but she's not. But that's not what we're here for. Now, I know earlier in the video I said that desegregation is what fucked us up to begin with, but hear me out. Yes, I know during segregation we were at the bottom of the food chain, but honestly, we still the fuck are. Only difference is back then our people were more united because all we had was us. I'd rather support my own damn people 100%. Give me a reason to stop giving my money to these motherfuckers who don't even like me. If a white motherfucker don't want me around them, bitch, I damn sure don't want to be around you. Y'all on this bitch crying. For what? Like this shit, like black people always crying. Bitch, tighten up. Because if it comes to a point where motherfuckers is trying to really apply pressure and tell us what to do, like we some motherfucking goofies, no disrespect to my ancestors, but we are not them. Well, at least I'm not. I wish a motherfucker would, like a kitchen cabinet. Y'all ass over here scared for what? Stand for something or fall for anything.
They're bringing back segregation because they know a world without black and brown people is coming, and it terrifies them. Trump just rolled back protections that ban segregated facilities for federal contractors, and the internet's acting shocked. But me, I'm not surprised, clearly. This is what desperate power looks like. This isn't about restoring order or merit-based hires. This is a tantrum from an almost 80-year-old man. White supremacy is in its flop era, and it's grasping at any old trick it can find. Segregation? Really? I feel like that's how we know they're scared. Because let's be real, black folks, we are unbothered. You can't shake people that have been surviving state-sanctioned violence since the dawn of time. We've had underfunded schools, medical negligence, and cultural erasure since day one. We don't panic when the system turns on us. We expect it. We don't fold. We multiply. We turn every block into a blueprint, every struggle into a strategy, and every threat into a legacy. As I said in my pinned video, a world without black and brown people is coming. Not because we're disappearing, because we're divesting. From their politics, from their corporations, their watered-down narratives, their respectability games, we want no parts. We've seen what happens when we show up and we make America run, but this time we're choosing to build our own instead. And that's what scares them. Not the loss of power, but the loss of relevance. Because without our culture, our labor, our innovation, our souls, what is America really? Let them scramble. Let them cling to segregation like it's going to save them. We've already moved on. And when that world without us fully arrives, they're going to finally understand what unbothered really looks like.
Why some folks are clutching their pearls, like we're going back to the 1950s, black people are like, separate bathrooms, please, we already got separate, treatment everywhere we go. The looks, the profiling, the assumptions, segregation, being alive, it's just not always written on the doors anymore. And here's a twist that, has MAGA folks sweating. Black Americans are not afraid of separate spaces anymore. In fact, a lot of them are saying, if you really want segregation, then give us the full package. Let our money stay in our community. Let our businesses only serve our people. Let our taxes fund our neighborhood. Let our resources circulate with our children. Now, this part, certain folks don't want to hear, because when you start talking about, true separation, not the fake Jim Crow version, where one side's get everything and the other side gets scraps, right? Suddenly people get quiet, because if separation or segregation means black communities keeping their own dollars, building their own schools, supporting their own businesses and operating independently, that becomes a problem for MAGA real fast. See, some white folks only supported segregation when they were the ones controlling everything. But if Trump's version accidentally empowers black Americans to build black wealth, create black jobs, market, and strengthen black political power, or suddenly is wait, we didn't mean that kind of segregation. Meanwhile, black folks online are laughing, saying, you mean we get our own hospitals, our own banks, our own toilets, our own airports, our own police system, our own everything? Oh, baby, bring it on. Because a lot of black people have learned the hard way what happens when they depend on systems that were never designed for them in the first place. This is why the idea doesn't scare them. They have been living with the downside already without any of the benefit. But let me also say this, okay? Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He's not trying to help anybody. He's trying to create, a lot of tension, because division is the only political fuel he has left, and a lot of politicians have in them. Separation is the campaign strategy. If he can get groups, divided, he doesn't have to offer real policies. He just throws emotional, grenade and walks away. But what he didn't expect is this new era of black awareness, a generation of black Americans who know their history, understand their economic power, and see through political games. A generation that is not begging to be accepted in spaces that doesn't, respect them. A generation that is fine building their own table and locking the door behind them. So now we have this hilarious moment where Trump is talking about it, and folks, he expected are going to get upset. I didn't upset at all. They are shrugging like, all right, let us know when the separate banks and airports open. Meanwhile, MAGA supporters who thought separation and segregation will only affect black Americans are suddenly like, hold on, this might affect us too, because they forget one thing: segregation cuts both ways. You want your own America, cool, but that means we get ours too. You want your own schools, fine, but ours won't be starved and underfunded like before. You want your own communities, great, but don't come running when you want black culture, black creativity, black labor, black genesis, and of course, black dollars. Now, black people are not afraid of separation because they already built everything they needed from scratch after being, shut out for generation. Meanwhile, the same folks who claim they want segregation are suddenly worried they might actually get what they asked for. So if Trump thinks he's bringing back segregation as a punishment, he might want to look again, because for many black Americans, it's sounding like an opportunity, but for a lot of MAGA supporters, it's looking like a nightmare they didn't think about all through. At the end of the day, segregation never left. It just wasn't benefiting everyone the same way. And now that the conversation is shifting, people are realizing real quick who actually stands to lose the most if America ever tried to divide itself again. And the whole spoiler alert is the fact that it's not black folks. But of course, we all know who. People will be the ones, jittering and of course getting scared of the whole segregation at the end of the day, not the people that they think will be getting, be shaking about it. But yeah, guys, I would love to hear your own take about this whole segregation thoughts and everything. Let's have that conversation. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. And credit belongs to the original creators of this video. I look forward to seeing you all on my next. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and see you all next time. Bye, guys.